Hey everyone, just doing this quick video review for the Heavenly Banquet, Understanding the Divine Liturgy by Father Emmanuel Hatzidakis. It is published by Orthodox Witness and it is a hardcover with a very glossy finish on it, so it feels very nice in your hands. It's got this beautiful image on the front of a Last Supper icon behind a proscomidi table. And it's got this nice spine. It actually looks really nice sitting on the shelf. It catches your eye when it's sitting there. And here's the back cover. There's Father Emmanuel himself, and there's the ISBN. So the book is about 400 plus pages, and as you can see, the binding is smite sewn, which means that it will hold together, pages won't fall out, and from the very beginning of the book, it will lay flat and it will stay open. You don't have to hold it open. And I'm just going to pretend I did not see this page here. Let's just ignore that there. And here's the table of contents. So it's got all this introductory, it's got reference material, introductory material, and then you finally get to the actual Divine Liturgy later on. So if I were to compare this book to anything, I would basically say it's like a study Bible, except instead of a Bible, it's the liturgy. So it's got the full text of the liturgy with commentary and footnotes. Lots of footnotes, as you'll see. It's got these articles that are inserted into the text, just mini studies about doctrinal, ecclesiological, and moral issues. And the first one is about Acumen Ism. The reason it starts with Acumen Ism is because one of the earliest petitions of the Divine Liturgy in the Great Litany is for the unity of all. And so this article is inserted there to basically say this petition is not about ecumenism. It's not about bringing everybody into the church despite, heresy and division and whatnot. So I'll show some of these. As you can see, if you're reading them here, they're very interesting. I'll show some of these. I won't read through them because then this video is going to be like an hour long. But these are a huge selling point of the book alone. It's just awesome to have all this extra stuff in there. And then it's got these much shorter articles that are just a word about specific things in the liturgy, specific objects or actions that might be performed during the liturgy that might not make sense if you don't understand them. So things like censing, reading, memorials, angelic presence, things like that. So that's all of them. Here's the acknowledgements. Here's all the prefaces to the first edition, second edition, and third edition. Very nice. There's the foreword. And so the book starts off with just the full text of the Divine Liturgy of St. John Chrysostom for reference. It also has the anaphora of Basil the Great's liturgy in the appendix. So it just goes through the whole text of the liturgy, and it's got these nice little drawings here. These are the same kind of drawings, it looks like, as in the Holy Transfiguration Monasteries books that they publish. Got this little guy here. So it goes through the whole liturgy, and then it's got breaking of the bread, banquet in heaven, this little article. And then it has a whole bunch of reference texts from the New Testament just about the Eucharist and about the breaking of the bread. So it's got like the words of institution from Jesus, it's got the anaphora from St. Paul, and it's got the bread of life discourse from John's Gospel. And then here we have just like the whole liturgy, each section of the liturgy in ascending order from the beginning to the very end of the liturgy, so that's nice. And so the whole introduction of the book is basically just about the sacraments, mostly about communion. Goes a whole lot about Eucharistic theology. There's a lot of Eucharistic theology in this book. If you want to learn about the Eucharist, get this book. It's got a lot of stuff in it. And anything that's gray is just a footnote. So there's a lot of footnotes in this book. That's why I say it's like a study Bible. It's almost like that's what it is. You have the text at the top, and then just notes, explanatory notes at the bottom. Centrality of the Eucharist. And then you actually get to the liturgy here. Liturgy of the Word. So any text from the liturgy is going to be in red, and his commentary is going to be in just regular black, and footnotes are in a gray box. So it just goes through each of the petitions here, and it gives commentary on all of them. So first thing I want to show was this word study. One of the first word studies, or the first word study in the book, is about Acumen Ism. So you see here, and for the unity of all, let us pray to the Lord. By all we should understand all Orthodox Christians. This is the context of the petition. As the local churches remain stable in the faith, so the faithful members of such churches may remain united along the lines listed by the Apostle Paul. So here we have the first word study, and those are in red. So are the a word about sections, and you can just see this is awesome that they put this in here. Like, Father Emmanuel he's not a joker. He does not play games with the church. He does not compromise. I'm very glad that this is a solid book. Another one that I want to show was about the priesthood, which I also thought was awesome. So it's just got all these explanations for our sacerdotalism that we practice in the church, the priesthood. It's also got, is the Eucharist a sacrifice? It explains everything. So 273 has the real presence. Like, look at how long some of these are. So this was the mystical supper a Passover meal? And it's just got wall of text there. So yeah, it's got this awesome section on the real presence. The faith of the church since the very beginning has been that the bread and the wine are changed in the body and blood of the Lord. So if you look underneath here, look at all these footnotes. You just with this alone, you could go off and read for hours and hours and hours and hours. Just this one section alone, this one little footnote, with all these references it has to just that. Right? So you're getting your money's worth. With this book, it's going to give you the cliff notes of what the church believes, and then it's going to show you the proof. There's the meat, here's the appetizer, here's the meat and potatoes of where the appetizer's coming from. And I'll just show you the rest of that word study. Yeah, and then there was another one I wanted to do. Sensing. If you don't know what sensing is, just look at the word study. It has all this information here about sensing and about everything else in the liturgy that we do, the language of the church. So this is about how the liturgy is in the vernacular of the people that are celebrating it. And then a couple other things I want to show. Here's the section about leavened or unleavened bread. And one other thing, 285. Honoring the saints. So If you want to read these, you can just pause. And if you want to get this book, I highly recommend it. It's not super cheap. I got this, it was for $40 US from Holy Trinity Monastery in Jordanville. So if you want to learn about the liturgy, there's a few other books you can get that will teach you about the liturgy. This is definitely by far the most scholarly and in-depth study of the Divine Liturgy that I've seen so far. It's a wonderful reference text, and if you have kids and you want to teach them about the liturgy, this is going to help you do it. This is going to give you a lot of information. So, highly recommend this book to you, and go get it.